everybody, and welcome to our Week 3 Survivor Recap Show with myself and Comedy Jonah, John Richardson. We have so much to talk about and get into on this episode of Survivor, but first, let me remind all you guys that if you missed any of our shows, you can check them out at yourrealityrecaps.com/Survivor. That's where you can see the shows from this season, from all the seasons of Survivor that we covered. If you love John, he just did a season with his mom, which was fun. There's, oh my god, we've gone back many years of Survivor. You can check them all out on our Survivor page. Of course, if you guys want to watch us do these shows live, we're doing them on TVCo, so make sure that you follow us over there so that you're alerted when we go live. You can chat in the chat room with everybody. Super duper fun. And that being said, we need to get right into it, and I can't get into it without getting into it with Comedy Jonah, so here he is. It's Comedy Jonah.
Comedy Jonah.
How are you doing today, John Richardson?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Oh, good. Stop, Comedy Jonah.
Set that my friend Comedy Jonah, doesn't matter how many times I tell him I can move his photo around, he just keeps wanting to move it.
I'm a comedian, I'm an editor, I'm a host. Okay, just one hat, Comedy Jonah. One hat.
If you keep it up, I'm going to do the whole show like this.
Oh, no. Comedy Jonah.
Oh, God. Wait, hold on, I can't. See, now that's something that the video-only people will be missing. You guys, we have audio. If you're listening on iTunes, there's the audio-only feed of this. You can also get the video feed. You can watch the video live on TVCo, on our website. You know, there's video and audio feeds of this. We're everywhere, John. We're very popular.
Everywhere.
Everywhere shows are available, much like this show of Survivor on Wednesday night, John, where I'm just super excited to talk about it because we're finally starting to feature the one most important thing that should be featured on this show. And of course, I'm talking about my boyfriend, Dean.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about Dean.
Oh, well, of course you're going to hate Dean because he's hot. But let's start at the start, John. Let's start at the start. We are over at Vokai, coming back from last week's Tribal. Jack and Jamal have just been blindsided, and everybody is talking about the blind side. And Tommy, our hottie Ginger, is like, I got to try and do damage control with Jamal and Jack because I don't want them not to like me. I'm already a ginger and people hate redheads.
I'm almost extinct. I'm a ginger.
Exactly.
I thought it was smart to Tommy to kind of get his temperature and stuff. I love when people are blindsided at the vote, like Jamal. You could sit there and just look at them. I don't trust anybody. They just get so emotional about it. It's so hilarious. I love it.
I do love it as well. Yes. Them trying to try and make Jack feel better, try and make Jamal feel better. I love how it kind of cuts to Jamal going, "Oh, I will forgive you, but I won't forget."
How many drag queens on RuPaul's Drag Race have we heard that from, too? I love that line.
All of them. All of them we have heard it from. I also love that Serendipity in the chat room is saying, "Hey, your backgrounds don't match." Excuse me, mine says Island of the Idols. John must not have...
Mine says Cambodia.
Well, someone needs to check their email. John and I are both the worst with email.
We're displaying our favorite season.
Yes, that is exactly what I meant to say. It's really more an homage to our favorite Survivor seasons. There you go. I thought it was very interesting. I did love Jamal, and rightfully so, saying, "All right, I'm aware of this tribe now." Like, okay, you want to come together, be kumbaya, great, but I know what you're up to.
And I think it's, also too, it really puts you in a bad spot when you're left, right? Especially when you're left out of the vote. You think you've done all this work. You think all of this stuff's happening with your alliance. Everybody's voting this way, and then they swap it on you. And now it's like, oh my gosh, I did all this work. thought I was in a good spot, and I realize I'm not. And so I get that. I mean, I have friendships now that happens to me. So I get it, Jamal. I get it. It sucks.
I really don't appreciate you bringing up our problems in this show. I think we've talked about that, and we said we'd be professional.
We had the online therapy. I'm the one not following the rules, so I apologize.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it. Yeah.
Just tell me what you need.
What I need is what the girls brought, and that was the girls showing us that they're all together on this tribe. They have a pact.
Yeah.
Love it. We don't see that a lot on Survivor, I feel like.
I thought I was watching Wonder Woman's Island. I was like, everyone's flopping around. We've got my favorite, Elaine's just throwing the girls over her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for Diana Prince to show up. I was like, what are we doing? What's going on? I love seeing good. It's funny for me, someone like me, to say that. I love seeing the women frolicking in the water.
Yeah, I mean, Elaine was totally me. Like, that would be me. I would be like, yes, guys, let's swim around in the water and throw each other around. Everyone's in their underwear, and I love it.
I would want you to flip me over, but I don't know if you could pick me up. Be the one.
Like, just do it.
I want to just flop over your shoulder. Yeah.
I know.
I love it. And I love the girls kind of sticking with their alliance. Wouldn't it be awesome to see all the guys from this tribe completely gone, and then it's just the women now going after each other? Doesn't sound right in the audio version of this.
No, that would not be correct. I don't know if anybody heard. I'm going to tell you about Dean again. If you need more reasons, here's 6 of them. Yeah.
Couldn't put that puzzle together.
I would. Oh yeah. I would figure out ways to make him drown. I'd be like, you need mouth to mouth. You need mouth to mouth. Dean, you need mouth to mouth.
Maybe instead of a fish puzzle, it'd be an ab puzzle. Maybe you could do that. Yeah.
So Karishma, though, she, in seriousness, like we joke around a lot on this show. What?
Seriousness. Go ahead.
Well. It's like you just want everybody to hate you, John. God, you went after the Me Too movement last week, and now you're going after poor Karishma. Well, Karishma feels isolated, from the women because she comes from like a different background, a different heritage. She's, from the Indian culture, and it's not very custom for them to be in their underwear, let alone on television, in public, stuff like that. She's worried about how people within her own culture are going to judge her based on her being on this show. And I think those are the kind of like human stories that I think Survivor likes to focus on. So at the start of this episode, I was like, oh, I'm feeling for her.
No, I loved seeing that she, was an Indian woman. I think, a lot of friends that are Indian also, that have that ethnic background, that have those conservative parents, but then they're kind of a little more westernized. It's a struggle. And so I completely thought it was wonderful to see that on TV and to say, you know what, I'm playing a game and I'm going to be in my underwear because this is what I have to do. Frolic on Wonder Woman's Island with the rest of the women.
Right. So I liked it. I mean, I was here at the beginning. So far, I'm on CBS's side. I'm like, I love this edit. I like where we're going. This is all so great. This is so great.
PS is going to be happy.
Yeah. So, cut to, now the guys are worried. Now the guys are like, we can count. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, or 5 girls, and I think that
1, 2, 3, 4,
the penises are, there's not enough penises for all the vaginas. The vaginas will win this vote. We'll do something. Where's the gay? Where's the
more
gay?
holes over there than there are here.
Don't lose the gay. We need Vince. Don't lose the gay.
Now, do it as if Boston Rob was telling us.
Where is the guys? I can't do it. No, I can't do. I have to hear him. I need Boston Rob like in my ear. It's just the whole eating the side of your face, and then you're Boston Rob.
Oh, it's the Popeye. Oh my gosh.
But no, seriously, they are like, we got to get Vince on our side. We have to get, the guys are like, we have to get Vince on our side. We need the numbers. We still don't even have the numbers with Vince on our side. But they go to him trying secure, Vince in with this group. And they're like, we want you to be part of it. And Vince is like, girl. He's in his confessional like, girl, you didn't care about me last week?
Especially with Aaron kind of leading that, and Vince is like, girl, you wrote my name down last week. Like, yeah.
Right.
And I love Vince's sassiness. Oh my gosh. Every episode I felt more and more in love with him. Like, I just want to hang out with him, do like a happy hour would be hilarious.
Yeah, I think that it is great. And the guys, they want Nora out. They're like, look, Nora's super annoying, and we need to get a super annoying person out of this game. And I'm like, look in a mirror, Tom.
Well, at least Tom shuts up. Like, he's more sitting there laying around, like, and I would say bear, but because he's gray, it's a polar bear. Like a polar bear just laying around without snow. Where you got Nora just yapping. If you leave the camp, you should come back with some firewood, with some branches you can weave together. You can't just come back in like, that kind of person drives me. We all have a mom, or we've all had a mom, or we all have two moms. And, we got it. We got it. We don't need a Nora.
I agree. Now, here's what else I love. I love how none of the guys really seem to be able to agree. We have Tom, who at this point is like, I want Nora out. Let's get Nora out. Then we have Jamal, who we know from earlier was like, okay, I like you guys, but I don't really trust you guys. He's like, yeah, I'm all for the team, guys. He finds Janet, and he's like, maybe we don't work with the guys, and we get Dan out. I'm like, okay, so all you guys want to work together, but you're all working separately, and you all want to get different people out. So this is going to go great.
Well, I think, too, and this is where I was talking about earlier, like with Jamal, taking everything so personable, thinking he's doing a good job. It's day 7. Jamal is really focused on his Survivor resume.
Right.
He feels like, okay, you know what? I was just blindsided myself, even though I'm still here. Mm-hmm. I need to think of a big move so that when I'm talking in, 3.5 weeks, I can mention this if I remember. Do you know what I mean? Like, It's too much. It's too much. At this point, you're blind. You need to go with the flow. You need to just stay in the background. Don't look at me on background, and then just go with the votes and not make any big moves.
I mean, I wouldn't say on Survivor you need to stay in the background this early.
For a little bit. You've been blindsided. You voted for someone and you had no idea how the votes were going to go.
Sure.
Go with the rest of the votes. Stay in the background. Get your big move a little later.
Yeah. So moving along, we then get to one of my 2 favorite scenes of the show. When poor Karishma cuts her hand and is like, I'm dying! My fingers are all falling! Everyone, I have to put my head in between my legs! I have to right now! I'm hiding! I am hiding! Don't see me! Why is no one seeing me die over here? I'm dying!
She was like cutting it into smaller bites. Oh God, it's the bone! The bone! I can see the bone! Hello? I can see the bone!
I can't.
The bone? Hello?
She is ridiculous.
The way they edited it, I love the people just kind of eating.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Did somebody hear something?
She's literally like, I just want you to know they are
I'm going
dead
to lay
to
down
me.
because I'm getting lightheaded and I want the blood to stop. You know, because I hit the bone.
Like, you should have known the fact that no medical people were coming up to you was like a key point that there was nothing wrong with you. And I like when she's like, then the blood started pooling and bubbling out of my hands.
And we could see it, but I could see her squeezing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing, she's me, so I don't want to make too much fun of her. Mm-hmm. She is 100% me.
And I'm the rest of the tribe.
I legitimately, one time,
I would look at you.
I broke a glass. And caught it, and it like cut my finger a little, and I was like bleeding, but I was convinced that it cut through my whole entire hand. I ran down the stairs. I'm banging on the glass door. There's like blood. So I'm like, help me, somebody help me. And they're like, okay, it's just like, you just have like a little cut right here. Like, you're totally fine right now. I'm like, I'm dying.
Listen, I think that's a good superpower to have, especially like if you're in a slasher movie,
right?
And somebody barely cuts you, but you can play dead really well because you think you're dead, and then you're the one that wakes up later and saves the day.
Or you wake up later, and then we find out that you were really the killer.
True.
That was a little American Horror Story. Spoiler alert.
I'm watching it too.
Here's the thing. You do realize that if this was the thing, like, nobody would not react to that. All of these people are hyper aware that they are on television and they are being filmed. So just imagine if we got to this point where they are like, God, she's doing it again. Imagine how much had to happen before this point for them to become desensitized that when there was blood, they didn't care.
Absolutely. I thought the same thing. Who knows if she's stubbed her toe? Oh, my toe! I've broke into my toe. We don't know. We don't know what she's done to them. Or I've been stabbed and it's just a splinter. You know what I mean? It's like, right. Oh, God, help me. So we have no idea. And I really, especially the shot of Vince just being like,
yeah,
we know Vince would react. I mean, he loves the girls. That's his alliance.
He would. I just loved her at the end going, everyone ignores me, no one is human, and they're all dead to me.
They're all dead to me.
I was like,
but I love too with her hand there, and then she's like, "Okay, you did. I overreacted a little bit." Like she completely played that down, but then went on to say everybody's dead to her.
Well, John, I don't want to say that we're very influential and social media influencers, but I'll just have you know that Miss Jenny Talley watching live in the chat room has just said, I'm seeing this in a whole new light. I honestly thought that they were all just being heartless. No! No. Did you not see that there was no bone as she was dramatically throwing herself to the floor?
No bone.
She was just like, I can't.
I don't even think she hit her lifeline. Like, I really don't even think she hit her.
I'm not half convinced that she found some dead animal in the woods and put some blood in her hand so she could have a moment. Please, I am not buying this.
If only she would have put the effort into that than the puzzle.
Well, before we get to the puzzle, we have to go to our fellow boatman. Apparently, there's great boat taxi service around this island. You can just have a boatman. It is like the Uber of the islands. This man will roll up with a note for you. I'm sure he's going to have food at some point. Today, he's like, delivery for Vince.
Now, didn't he have to holler this time? Do I remember that? Did he have, hello?
Yeah, because they're horrible actors. Like, production was like, I'm gonna need everyone to go to the beach. Make sure that you're all together on the beach.
but like you're laying around in camp, you're so bored, and you hear a speedboat coming. Don't you just, oh my gosh, what's happening? You know, like even how everybody reacts with Big Brother when they can hear the TV pop on before Julie or anybody speaks.
Yeah.
And then this guy has to sit there on the beach. Hello,
John.
They weren't helping. They weren't helping her with her hands. Yeah. So what were they doing? Standing around.
You are wrong. They were all leading a silent prayer for Karishma. They were very concerned about her,
her hand.
And we were being horrible and just seeing what of you meanies that were watching back would believe it.
It's a hand prayer.
Yeah, they were all having a moment of silence for Karishma, who unfortunately passed away due to a horrific accident.
But got her voted.
That is what happened, okay? So the guy comes up and he goes, "Hey, I got this special little note. It's for Vince. I'm letting you know you have been chosen to go to the Island of the Idols." And Vince is like, "Oh, I'm gay. I'm not used to being picked for stuff." Picked first? Well, second? Always pick last. And here's something interesting, because we see Elizabeth, so then it cuts to Elizabeth, and she's kind of like,
I would be freaked out too.
I know now that he's gonna go and find out that he could get an idol, and then he's gonna know what really happened with me and that I was lying. And here's what I'm not liking about this is just overall what I don't like about Survivor. I don't like that we don't ever get the more that we want. At least with Big Brother, we can watch the live feeds, go check out the updaters, find out the backstory, things that happen for another. We don't know. There is no real discussion, there isn't, between them two at all this episode about, hey, you went to the Island of the Idols and I went, and clearly you lied and I lied. Like, that's the story I want to see. We didn't get it, and I don't think we're gonna get it, number one. But number two, I thought that Elizabeth would use this to get Vince on the girl's side, which kind of didn't happen either. Like, I thought this would, like, make her bond with Vince more, and then, this is how we solidify him 100% into the girl's side. I'm gonna know his secret, he's gonna know mine, we can work together now, yada, yada, yada. But
see, for that not happening, how I took it is they didn't talk. But we still don't know if Vince lied. He had to say something. We just never heard it. So did he decide to lie? And then Elizabeth also says, phew, I'm glad he did, but I need to get rid of him. Maybe she found out he had an idol. We don't know any of that backstory, which just pissed me off too.
And we're not allowed to ask, which is the problem, or we'll get in trouble. But maybe at the end of the season, this is going to be one of the questions that we can't
ask the people.
Yeah, we're not. Not allowed. Okay, so then now look again. In case anybody is confused, about what Eric likes dumb and hot. So, Dean...
You got it there.
Dean, in keeping up with Dumb and Hot, as Vince is sailing away, Dean goes, so, he's probably gonna get an idol, right, guys? So, maybe we need to make sure that, like, we split the vote to burn it.
And who said it? We're all here.
Yeah, I think it was Elizabeth was like, everybody's here, idiot.
We're all here.
I would have been like, Dean.
I'd be like, Eric, we're all here. I might be in Cambodia, but I'm here.
And then Karishma's like, well, this is just bullshit! Because it's gonna be me! You know it's gonna be me! I need another injury!
And okay, so she felt insecure. She has the thing with, her culture and wanting to not be so unclothed. I get that. It's just, she's a personal injury attorney. Like, how is she in the courtroom? Like, I want to know, how many satisfied clients do you have? How many have you won? Because you seem very not so aggressive. And how are you so insecure? You can't even read the thing when you're supposed to read the room and the prosecutor, and you're supposed to understand all of this stuff. Like, I don't get it. And then to frolic with the women on Wonder Woman's island, yet you're still insecure. Like, I just don't Get it.
I totally forgot that she was the personal injury attorney. Now, the cutting herself makes so much more sense.
She knows. She knows.
Yes, she's like, I'm getting that $1 million one way or another. She's like, some PA left the
She
sharp
probably
knife.
like bit a little bit of dental floss this big and wrapped it right around, and we could see a little bit of white and went, "Oh, my bone!
My bones! My bones!
Bone.
I'm pretty sure anything that happens to your hand is worth at least $500,000.
Look, Eric, my bone!
My bone.
The bone.
Oh, I'll see Dean's bone. But
Oh my goodness, this is a family show.
I loved when, so they were all talking. I did love how it cut right to Karishma's GR, and she's legitimately just like, well, I know it's gonna be me. I know it's gonna be, and I already have one hand bleeding and all bandaged up. So let's just nail both hands to the cross and just hang me out to dry. And I was like, very dramatic, ma'am.
Yeah.
Very dramatic. So, yeah, I mean, he's very interesting, but we have to move on to my second favorite scene of the episode. Vince arriving at the island of the idols.
I love looking at, every time I see those big heads, I think of you.
Uh-huh. And now, first of all, did you not love that we didn't have the reading of the oath this episode? They finally are like, all right, we gave these idiots 3 hours of Survivor already. I don't think we have to show them the oath again. I think they know now that they're not coming into the game. And why are we pretending like they're not in a hotel? Why are we pretending like they've been in this little island area?
The little hammock thing, yeah.
Please.
That they're saying, please.
You know,
patio.
2 hours ago, Rob was ordering a cheeseburger from room service and was like, God damn it, we have to go and film. Let's see what idiot is coming in today.
Yeah, we've got Uber boat drivers, and we got drones flying in cheeseburgers and stuff.
Oh my God, we are not buying that. He's like, I need wardrobe. Is this how dirty my shirt was yesterday? So dirty it was. Sandra.
Oh my gosh, if I couldn't play or win, I'd be like surf and turf every night.
Oh my God, well, sure, I'm sure it's an expense for them. So Vince walks up. Vince sees, Sandra, he sees Rob, and he's like, I just have to say how excited I am. And my favorite was Rob, because Rob is literally sitting there like, I gotta deal with this now.
And see, Rob's side interview was like, wow, it's so nice that we made such an impression on such a young person, and that they look up to us like this. But then they cut to Rob. He's just like,
Rob's face the entire time was like this.
What are you talking about?
Why are you crying?
Baby, I'm so glad that we could be such a mentor to you.
Really happy that we influenced you so much. It's like, is he always drunk? Like, it's got to be always drunk, right? I just don't get it. I don't get the Boston Rob accent.
You're lucky you could chew on both sides of your mouth.
Do you know that I'm waiting for someone to tell us that he had a stroke, and then we're these going to be like a super cut of like reality recaps, mock stroke victims. I don't believe that he did. And it might not be clear to all of you, but I actually love Boston Rob. I just don't get his dialect. I don't get how he talks like that. I don't understand it, and I need to understand it.
It's a combination of something, yeah.
It's definitely a combination of something. So Vince is sitting there crying, and they're like, you mean so much to me. It's so inspirational, blah, blah. Of course, Rob is like, gay. And then they're like, all right. We're gonna.
Well, they were trying to ask him questions, right? But
sure.
okay, let's just move on. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, let's just, and I'm like, and look, here's the thing. Your challenge. Now, the whole point here is we're here to challenge you. So we're going to give you a challenge that's like a social challenge because you seem very well adapted to handle that.
Part of the Survivor game is the social challenge. So your lesson today is socially challenges.
I'm gonna need you to sneak into the other tribe.
What I need.
And get fire.
Go, man, you get fire.
You get fire.
Stop.
And
get
then
fire.
And then you get 2 weeks of immunity. And if you lose your vote. Now, again, no supercut of Rob here being annoyed that nobody tried to get him to sweeten the deal. I thank God we didn't have to hear the phrase sweeten the deal 16 times in this episode.
Right.
Why is no one sweetening the deal? I can sweeten it.
But I would have wanted to know, what is it? Like, okay, you have to get fire, but then, okay, let me sweeten the deal. You only have to go halfway to their camp. Like, what do you think was the sweeter deal, or what would it have been?
I think the sweeter deal would have been, okay, you got us. Yeah. You got us. Here's what happened. We all forgot that this was a filming day. Production and I were wasted out at my pool lanai when we realized, shit, we have to film one of these. Quick, what are we gonna do? I got it. We'll make them steal fire. And then the producer was like, how are we gonna make that into something that looks interesting? And Rob goes, I know. We'll have Sandra army crawl on the beach and I'll hold up a stick and then they can crawl under it. And I'm watching this whole entire thing like, am I supposed to fucking take this seriously? Sandra's like, I know you might be laughing, but I'm telling you, we're gonna army crawl. And I'm just like,
this is real skills.
This is real life skills. You gotta go like this, and then like this on the beach. And I'm just like, this cannot be happening right now on this show. That they are trying to sell this scene like this is suspenseful, dramatic. This is the life lesson that you want Rob and her to teach Vince right now.
But it almost seems like, too, like Rob's always the one talking. Like Sandra always feels like she's maybe not as important. Like, you showed us how to do fire with the first one with Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to take her to the side, and we're just going to have girl-on-girl time. Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't sound right for the audio either. We're going to have, and I'm going to show her some stuff. Or I'm going to just talk more about my kids and my dogs with Kelly. And, you know what I mean? Like, she just seems like she's having to overcompensate because Rob's always leading. Mm-hmm. Always leading the conversation. Mm-hmm.
Well, Rob didn't lead much this time. This time, Rob's contribution was, I'm gonna hold a stick. I want to see if you guys can go under this stick, because, when you're in their camp, there's gonna be a lot of low tree branches.
And I love that there's a bow in the stick. Like, it's not a true, like, how low can you go limbo stick. Like, there's an arch in it, and they're still barely making it. Like, that would be you and me. Just like my big head would just be barely making it.
They had no clue. And then they even tried to up it, and then they had Rob with the torch, and he's like, now when you go up to the fire, you gotta go at it with it. What the fuck do you think he's gonna do?
Stretch your arm out. You gotta stretch your arm out.
You gotta stretch your whole arm out.
Did you eat your spinach? You gotta stretch your whole arm out.
Does he think that he's like, this queer was just crying 5 minutes ago, and now I asked him to go near a fire, and I have to explain to him I don't want him flail. They call the gays flames,
The queer.
I'm like, what do you think he's gonna do? Is this for real?
I think Popeye needs some diversity training. Okay.
I'm just like, what do you gotta aim the stick right at the fire. I'm like, oh, really? At the fire?
Stretch your arm, queer. Stretch your arm.
Thank you. If I said something like, thank you. I was unsure what to do with the tiki torch. I thought I would just dump the oil on my face.
Once I got there, I was sure.
my God, I can't. Mm-mm. I was just like, no, Rob, no. I couldn't breathe. Like, I watch it live with everyone. I don't know if people know that. I watch this live with people on TV Co. Like, well, it's airing. We all watch it together right here on TV Co. So I was kind of reacting to a lot of these things as they were happening live. And I just remember I was losing it watching that scene and having them pretend like that was real. But whatever. So, oh, wait, I'm sorry. And one more point. Because that wasn't enough, production was like, guys, I don't know that in the edit of this on primetime network television this is going to do good. We need something with like a map. Is there any child around here that could draw us a map? Rob whips out this crayon drawing of a map, and the Sarah's like, okay, now look, you want to go around the big hill.
No, and I love Sandra saying now, it's a lot different in person than the map. Like, it's a lot bigger in person than what the map shows.
Yeah. The map, I lost it too with the map. I was like, honest.
It wasn't like stick figures. Well, this is you going this way. Oh, and this is you going this way. And then the little dotted path.
It's like this. It's like this. It's like, okay, so now
look, you got
here.
A copy of the map.
You're here. You're here, and you can go here like this, okay? You can go around here like this. You can go, oh, this is starting to look like a penis, homo. Pay attention, okay? You gotta go around.
You're good with balls, right? You're good with balls.
You're good with the circles.
Listen, I know you normally don't go around the balls, but we're asking you this time.
I can't. The fact that they were legitimately trying to convince us that this was a serious scene, I could not handle it.
It was fascinating to see how far the drinking water was from the fire.
There was a lot of fascinating that happened when Vince strolls up, Uber boat, took Vince to the island. Because here's my other thought, by the way.
In the middle of the night.
Well, I was like, I wouldn't do it. When I was watching this live with everybody, instantly I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to go back to the tribe with my weird torch, then have to sneak out from my tribe. Like, it would put too much of a target on my back. But finding out, no, you'll just stay here. The special person's going to bring you. Okay, I'm fine with that now.
I would have put mud on my face. I would have been all like, Rambo. I would have just had my Sandra training going through the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I would just have it like, just in my hair and I would just be stealth.
Well, first of all, that production was pissed because he didn't do any of the training techniques. There was no army crawling.
He could barely do the walking normal.
Yeah. Oh, no. He was fully... So he gets to the camp, and now, right off the bat, I'm curious as to what you think, real or fake edit. Because right away, he arrives, and half the camp is having night terrors. They're like, no, John. And I'm just like, this is a joke. Like, I haven't watched Survivor in a few years, so is this what Survivor is now? This is it? Explain to people how to use a match and then night terrors.
Like, Karishma, is you okay?
Yeah, exactly. He probably was triggered and thought it was Karishma.
She wakes up, the bone!
It's like, I think Karishma's in trouble.
From the other side of the island.
I have to go back. I have to go back to find Karishma. No, first of all, I don't buy this for 1 second. Those people were passed out. There was not one scene where he was in the scene and then you could see the people reacting to him or thinking they heard something with him there. Everything was like, cut to the people in the bed reacting to something, cut to him. I don't buy for 1 second that he was either at the camp when they were there or that they were not completely passed out the whole time. Don't buy it.
I was, losing track, and I thought maybe I had switched channels and was watching the Blair Witch. Like, I was like, what's happening? Screaming, and they're all, gosh, are you all right? Well, they're all huddled together, but poor got her hand cut to the bone. not anybody that they're bleeding in broad daylight.
Okay, precious.
But that other tribe, boy, they really love each other. They hold each other.
Yeah. It's very different. Things are very different from Karishma's tribe to the Night Terror tribe. I agree. Look, I know that I could never do Survivor. Like, I legitimately, I have tweeted this before. I walk outside when it's raining to walk my dog, and I'm like, screw this. So I know that I cannot handle Survivor. But now I know that there are Night Terror people on Survivor. Hell no.
Listen, we were all obsessed just with Dan touching everybody. And we thought that was a big deal. That's nothing. People are just waking up screaming.
Oh, and you know she's like...
It's bad enough to be on that bamboo, just trying to get comfortable and get your ass and your side to it. You finally start to fall asleep and you've got... Oh, I don't know who it was. Just murder! Oh, no! I mean, could you imagine? I can't imagine someone with night terrors just in my bed where I'm comfortable. I mean, it was just the funniest thing.
It was. I thought the whole thing was surreal. I loved it.
Yeah.
So now Vince, cut to Vince, who now is talking to us, and he's like, so there was no fire. Boston Rob already thinks I'm an idiot, so I gotta try and work through this problem. I'm just gonna bring back some ash. And then he's like, I'm gonna put it in my water bottle. Why in your water bottle? Why don't you just pick it up in your hand and go? You know, they're not giving... Why couldn't
you just get dirt in your water bottle and it's muddy? It's ash. It's the dirt from the sand of the other tribe.
Or how about this? Steve from production, can you tell them there was no fire? I was here. I was at the fire. Can we just let them know?
Production can't interfere.
I don't care, because if I was Vince in that moment, I would have been like, I'm not putting this ash in my water canteen. Your asses are cheap and you're not giving me a new water canteen. I'm not doing this.
Why didn't you just put ash here? And just ash here. And just be like, listen, I decided to just put a mask.
First of all,
just bring
like a nice little facial.
Yes.
Here's the other thing I don't get why he didn't do. I don't get why he didn't taunt the tribe. If I was Vince, I would have used the ash to write like a thing and go like, your tribe sucks, we were here, we went through all your stuff, bye losers, haha, no fire.
I made a crop circle in the sand. Be like, oh my gosh.
Or like a pentagram, like draw like the sign of the devil.
I'd have cut myself and had a little blood and like a sacrifice.
And write like, the Islanders are coming for you.
Or just like Karishma's signature. Just somebody's signature.
What is she, like the plague?
Like their initials. Just their initials.
No, that's good.
God, that's right. She cut it down.
They should put a pentagram. They should have put a pentagram and said Karishma's coming at the merge.
The merge.
You're all fucked.
You just find like a black crow feather or something and stick it in. Oh my god.
She'll cut you to the bone. Oh, I don't know why people watch this show. Oh! Okay. No. So he gets it. He gets it. The moral of the story is he gets the ash.
He gets it.
He leaves and then falls on his ash. Okay, falls several times. Here is what I seriously also want to know. In all honesty, here is why I don't believe for a second those people were there. How did he make it in the pitch dark to exactly where he needed to go? Your camp is not lit. The only thing that was lighting him was the camera crew. There is no way a lit camera crew walked over to that fire with him and anybody noticed. I don't believe for 1 second those people were there for this. But whatever. So that was that. But then, get him falling. Well, I thought that was fun.
I think like maybe he had a GoPro stuck to his head or something, but and even if he had something stuck to him, like he seemed very, very loud. Yeah. And the noises did not seem of a noise of a gecko or, whatever animals are in there. So with the people kind of looking up, what? After, trying to settle down after the
He's joking. I agree. And here's what here's what I'll say.
Okay, I can't even look at you. What?
Rob. Rob is like, you did it, queer. I mean, you didn't get fire. You gated up like the gays do, but I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna give it to you, not in a gay way. I don't know why I made Rob homophobic during this.
I know.
He's a very nice person. Everybody watching,
So
he's
nice.
very nice and not homophobic at all.
Put a disclaimer, he's not homophobic.
I'm going to title this episode, Boston
comedy
Rob
big
is not homophobic. That is going to be the title of the show. I don't know why I've gone there with this. So Boston Rob is like, yes, you did it. No sweetened deal. You did it. Here's your stupid idol. Way to go. I wish you would have sweetened it. I thought your gays are full of sugar. Again with him. So he gets it. Anyway, next morning, they're waking up to day 8. Welcome to day 8, everyone! Yay! Let's go to our immunity challenge.
And that's where we didn't hear Vince's story.
Right, nothing.
Right into the challenge.
Oh, yeah, we're not skipping. There was nothing. It literally went from that scene to immunity challenge.
Like, I rewound it a little bit just to make sure, did I miss it? Yeah.
No, they're leaving out giant plot points for some reason. I'm not mad about it because they gave us all this gold already. So we find out that the immunity challenge is each team is going to start out on the teeter-totter. They have to figure out their way to, throw one person in the air, grab a bag of puzzle pieces, then go to the other side, up in the air, grab the other thing of puzzle pieces, swim to the water, put the puzzle together. Seemingly a very easy challenge for, the tribes to do here.
An earlier challenge, and then they get harder. But they started hard, now they're getting...
That is right. I forgot you're very upset about this. So, I forgot that you are very upset about the difficulty of Survivor challenges lately. This is your cross. This is your hill. You're dying on this.
Yeah,
oh, wait.
Thank you.
This is your hill that you're dying on this season. Okay, so that's what they have to do. And they're playing for comfort. They're playing for hammocks, cushions, tarps,
chairs,
salts, first aid kits for Karishma. So Janet is... Karishma's like, so we have a flare gun. Neosporin, and I'm gonna need a flare gun in case, I go into, one of those traps, where the net comes out from under you and lifts you up in the air. I'm just saying I might need, a flare gun in case I get in trouble.
An IV bag. Yay, I can live.
This would be the first Survivor contestant to be dragging around, one of those hospital IV things.
Oh. Bags of blood. Thank you. Oh, I'm so positive. Awesome. Thank you.
Jeff, you have to make this challenge. You're discriminating against me and my IV bag. How am I supposed to teeter and totter when I have my IV in? Because I'm very hurt.
To a doctor that can help me. Okay, you, Elizabeth, you're a swimmer. I need a blood transfusion.
I'm really worried about how I'm going to be portrayed to my culture. I can't with her. I really hope she goes far. Oh, please don't send her this. Thank you. So Janet, your favorite Janet, right off the bat, for Lyro, Janet for Volkai is in the water, but she was kind of doing good. And then we had, oh my God, what's Elizabeth, right? For Lyro, who got the giant head start for them. Because Lyro got the big head start with Elizabeth because she was the swimmer.
And we've got Elizabeth swimming, who's an Olympic swimmer.
Right.
And we've got Supermom Janet, who is chief of the lifeguards.
And struggled for them a little bit.
Yeah, but she kept up with Elizabeth, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
But Elizabeth, man, dove in there, untied it, jumped up, just like an Amazon. While, Mom needed a mask. Just all of a sudden, things get blurry. Just a little disoriented.
Just like, I don't know where I am.
Just like, where am I again?
Where?
The bag. The bag. Yeah, the bag.
It's like, oh, okay, I'll get the bag. I'll get it over here. I mean...
I thought you were calling me the bag. Oh, you want me to get the bag?
Yeah, like, what did you think? What did you think, Janet? Janet, what did you think was going on? What did you think?
Get the mask on. Find the bag.
She's like, okay, I got it. No, she did good. I mean, I think she did very well. I think that she did good. You knew she wasn't going to beat an Olympic swimmer at a swimming challenge.
Of course. Like,
and she was like, well, we're screwed anyway.
Yeah.
I know. Hold on. So here was, when Jeff's like, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to strategize. Here was the team meeting. All right, so we see that Elizabeth, the Olympic swimmer, is going up. All right, so now we got Dean, who's really fit. We have all these people that are really, you know what? Let's send the oldest lady to go against her.
Dude, it makes a lot of sense.
And then only to be outdone by Dean and Karishma going, we're real good at puzzles.
Wait. Karishma's like, I already have a target on my back. I'll lead the puzzle. Like,
He just looked at this group of people and said, pick out the 2 worst people that you think would be the worst at puzzles. I would go, Dean and Karishma.
That means I'll have less clothing. I'll do the puzzle.
Oh, I can't.
That way I'll blend into the background.
I can't. When they were like, we're going to do the puzzle, I was like, well, we know this is ending. Pretty sure Dean can't do the puzzle that has the 4 pieces. But, and we were correct because Lyra loses their giant lead at this puzzle. We literally have Dean being like, and Karishma's like, I don't know. I'm afraid to get a splinter if I touch these.
My bone was showing just 2 days ago.
Yeah,
you know that, right?
I have to do this with one goddamn hand, okay?
I was trying to put the puzzle piece. I kept dropping it because I don't know why I didn't use my other hand, but this is the hand I use.
I know exactly why I didn't use my other hand. I have early onset arthritis in these muscles, and nobody cares. Nobody cares.
You see poor Janet just shaking her head.
She doesn't have a neck.
Wet bangs.
She doesn't have a neck, and I don't understand that.
Like tortoise.
That Karishma's like, maybe if somebody just massaged my arthritis hand, that's my good hand. Dean, suck on my finger.
And I'll use the exposed bone hand to do the puzzle.
If I pull that bone out, it'd be like a 6-digit. We have an advantage.
Hey, Dean, what about you? Where was you? Where is Dean?
Look, what are these other people doing?
Is Dean on a break? Where's Dean?
Yeah, where's
in the water?
Dean is over there like, look at the light on this pack.
Is he trying to get a water volleyball game going? Where's Dean?
He's just like, I look really good right now. He's like, how am I thinking? You guys thought I was good at puzzles? No. I'm good at thinking. I'm good at looking like I'm thinking about doing puzzles. See, look, this is my serious puzzle face.
Look at my face, I'm puzzled.
I was just like, of course they're going to lose this. So, of course they do. Lyra loses their giant lead because they put Dumb and Dumber on the puzzle. And then, of course, Volkai was able to just completely come up from behind, win it. Absolutely amazing for them. I mean, not good for me because, in all honesty, I'm joking about them. But, God, I don't want Dean to go. So I was very worried about this. But then we go back to Lyra, and now we have the guys once again talking, and they kind of think, look, we should vote Karishma and Vince. This way, we can burn that idol. Like, let's make it very clear we're voting Vince, we're voting Karishma. Let's make Vince feel like he needs to use that idol and feel in jeopardy.
And at that moment, to me, I was like, I don't think Vince's lie was very good. I don't think Vince doesn't seem like a good liar, right?
He doesn't at all, no.
Yeah.
And then, cut to Missy, who is like, wait, why would we do that? Like, why would we split the vote? We could have all the girls together, get Vince, and then we have even more of the numbers.
Right.
Then Elizabeth is like, but then who is the other choice? Tom? And I don't want Tom to go. I love Tom. I love a daddy. And let's all start calling him Daddy. I'm just saying, it's like a lot of gay undertones in this season of Survivor.
To me too, it's like Elizabeth's like, I have to vote off or kill anyone that will call me out. So what's going to happen to the next person on her tribe that goes to the Island of the Idols? Like, they're in danger.
That's a good point too.
And what if it's a woman? And we got to keep the numbers, girls. But is she going to sacrifice one of her own?
I don't know. Well, cut to Karishma and Vince taking a fun little stroll in the woods.
We got Ash and Exposed Bone walking through the woods.
Karishma's like, do you think that's poison ivy? Vince, do you think that's poison ivy? And Vince is like, girl, you're on the bottom of the totem pole, and I need a name.
I need a name. Who's the name?
I just want a name.
I don't know. What do you think I should do? I don't know.
I think, do you think maybe calamine lotion would stop this itch? Or, I don't know.
No, I'm just my bones exposed. It's the only name I know.
I just, nobody cared about me when I was having a problem, so I don't know if I care about your problem right now. I'm not going to name any names, but I'm on the bottom, but I don't care.
I'm on the bottom, so no names.
Vince is like, I can't stand this as a fan of the show. If you are on the bottom, you have to fight for your life, and Karishma, you are not fighting for your life. I had to go through boot camp training with Rob and Sandra, and I had to get Ash. You can't even give a name. She's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do.
She's like, what's in a name? I don't know. What's in a name?
And now I bet you're all wondering if you're listening or watching this or you don't want Survivor and you're like, oh, you must be leaving a lot out. No, that's it. Then they go to Tribal. That's it. You might have wanted some more strategy or game talk. No. The whole entire episode was on a beach boot camp, going to get a fire, and jumping in the water for puzzle pieces. But that's fine because there was a lot of hot tea. There was a lot of hot tea. Okay, so now we are now over at Tribal, which, by the way, at Tribal, Dean looking as smart as ever.
There's our boy.
There's our boy Dean, just like, I don't know where I am. I don't know if I'm in. Look pretty. Yeah, I'm imperfect. By the way, he's perfect. Although I have to say, I did look him up and found his Instagram. He's like a he's a very good job in New York City, and I can't remember what it is, but in New York City is the key words.
Well, obviously he has his clothes on, or if he was naked, you would have remembered.
You can run, but I'll find you. Oh, accountant. Right, thank you, Denise. He's an accountant, so he's good with money.
Puzzles.
But not puzzles. So right at the start of Tribal, Tom is automatically calling out Dean and Karishma. And he's like, look, not for nothing. They said they were good at puzzles. Clearly they sucked at the puzzles. Puzzles are why we have come here the last 2 times. Puzzles are what are tripping us up. And I want the people out that suck at puzzles. So Dean has a penis.
Or stop
Karishma,
nominating
go.
yourself.
Yeah. Just no.
Yeah, stop nominating yourself. But then we have Karishma, who goes into her monologue about how she's super strong and that people underestimate her. And if she sticks around a little bit longer, she's going to show everybody, hey, why don't you show us now? Why don't you show us right now? And you know what? Why don't you call out Dean, who is your puzzle co-worker, and say, you know what, guys? I know everybody's throwing my name out, but what about Dean was there too? Hey, Dean, why didn't you just step it up a little bit? Like, hello?
Dean has a penis, and Survivor is a very penis-driven show. So, yeah, that's why we're not going to give the ladies credit for stuff, which is whatever. We're not going there.
Well, I love to see all the ladies are starting to sink, so I can't wait for that.
Well, you missed the key word in her sentence when she was doing her monologue. Is she said, "I am a great asset, and I can be a physical threat." Emphasis on
not a mental.
Emphasis on physical threat, as in everything. Everything around me threatens me physically.
Everybody around me threatens me. Oh, except there's bone. Do you see the what? There's bone. Oh,
Jeff,
a physical threat.
Jeff, I want you to know that my bone is sticking out of my whole entire hand right now. I feel like we have to speed this along.
I just want you to know the half stitch that I had to get. It's still hanging in there. So
she didn't even get a half stitch. So after Karishma does that, Vince says, we know Vince has the idol with him, and Vince goes, "I am not letting paranoia get to me. I'm sticking with the plan." And I was like, well, we know how this is going. Because he had no talk time. And his one sentence was, "Paranoia won't get to me. I'm sticking with the plan." And I was like, "Oh, bye, girl."
Oh, you're bye, girl.
So then Karishma goes, "Okay." Oh, no, actually, Jeff says to Tommy,
Yes.
Hot Ginger, he's like, "Tommy, Hot Ginger, do you want to talk? Like, what are you thinking right now?" And he goes, "No, I don't want to talk. I don't care about all the drama. I just want to vote." And then Karishma goes, "1 second. So we don't know what she's whispering, okay? You might all be wondering what she's whispering like the rest of us were, but we're not allowed to know."
Again, that's the third thing we're not allowed to know.
Why don't we just call this whole entire show a whole bunch of shit you're not allowed to know? It should be called Surviving a Show Where You're Not Allowed to Know Anything That's Actually Going On.
Please watch episode 3 and find out a bunch of shit you're not allowed to know.
Here's the whispering segment, which you might think to yourself, what could she possibly be whispering? Why is nobody else asking what she's whispering? All Tom said during it, all Tom said was, he's like, "This is an act. I'm not buying it." You're not even curious what she's whispering?
Right?
Not even like, I don't know.
Right.
Was
the voices in your head, Tom.
Or was she trying to, like, put targets on the people she was whispering to? Like anything. Am I allowed to have any strategy up to what any of these people are actually trying to do, or we just have to make it up? Which is why this show is so ridiculous. I've decided, if you're not going to tell me any of the strategy, I'm just making it up.
Absolutely.
I'm making it up. So,
but you know what I don't understand is why Vince was so loyal to the girls, and even if he had an idol, that's something that they could have used to their advantage.
Yes, 100%.
Yes. Anyway, I'm skipping ahead.
Well, no, I mean that's basically it. So Tom is like, "We're not buying this. This is an act. We don't know. We have no clue what Karishma was saying." Everybody goes and votes. Jeff is like, "I'm going to read the votes. Ooh, fingers crossed it's a guy that is safe." And then it comes out, Tom got 1 vote. Karishma got 3. By Vince. Karishma got 3 votes.
By the rest of the guys.
And then Vince got 5 votes. Vince being voted out.
By all the women.
By all the women. Cut to Rob and Sandra up in a little suite. "Oh, he's leaving with a idol in his pocket." He's like a little leprechaun up there. "He's leaving with an idol in his pocket." I'm just like, Jesus Christ, Rob.
It'll be great if he would have used the idol. It would have been great.
Just like, you know, they're like, oh my God, it's a night shoot. We got to do that thing where the camera's on the side and we have to sneak into this stupid fucking hut and sit here and listen. I agreed to give them 3 hours a day. We said 3 hours when we signed up for this, Sandra. We have to sit here and pretend like we care about what these idiots are talking about.
Oh. Bye, matey.
He's an illness, fucking. It's like, whatever. Are they allowed to give the idol to somebody, like, on their way out? Like, if he wanted to, could he have, like, French kissed it to Dean? Because that's what I would have done. I mean, I would have,
I could see that happen.
Actually, no, I would have been like this. I would have stood up when I realized I got voted out. Dean was behind him. I would have, like, pulled the idol, like, out of my pocket. I would have pulled my pants forward. I would have dropped the idol in and went, all yours. Go get it.
See, I would have bent over and I'd be like, oh, my string's hanging out.
Is that an idol in my pocket? Is that an idol in my pocket, Dean? Or are you happy to see me? Pocket?
The show has gone so many different ways.
It's like, Dean, it's not the idol, but keep searching.
my butt pocket.
Oh, you can't. The idol is ready for you. Oh, your idol's growing. Oh, you got the supersized idol.
You got a super idol.
You found the super idol.
You found the tea idol. The tea idol keeps
I can't. So yeah. So he's voted out is the moral of the story. So Vince, unfortunately, Jeff is like, okay, we can't have a penis leave, but I mean, we'll have the gay leave. Okay, you are voted out. Bye, Vince. Bye, girl. Go now. Bye, go. And
I'm sad to see Vince leave.
I honestly, I am sad to see Vince leave as well. And Vince is like, in his confessional, he goes, I really wanted to tell Jeff, oh, Jeff, for the first time in Survivor history. And I was like, you can't really think that this was the first time this happened in Survivor history. You were just crying over Rob and Sandra.
Do you really watch the show?
Yeah, I was very confused by why he said that. I was very confused by why he was like, I wanted to say, first time in Survivor history, leaving with an idol. So that was weird that they even left that in the edit for me.
Well, I really just think it's weird that Vince left. I really don't understand it. I don't understand why Molly was voted out last week.
No.
She was no real threat at all. Yet we got Yap and Nora still there telling everyone what to do. So I'm not understanding. Maybe I'm not seeing some of the gameplay that people have, but I get Ronnie, the very first one.
Yeah.
But these last two, I don't get it. And it's getting worse. Like Molly, I didn't understand. And then Vince, I really didn't understand because it was a number for the girls. It really was.
Yeah, I don't, and I hope, like, as the season goes on and we get less people, but why would they flash back to it? Like, I get it. We can watch the Ponderosa clips, but here was my thought on this. Yes, we could go to CBS.com, and you guys completely can go do this. Go to CBS.com, watch the Ponderosa videos. You'll get some more insight. I thought about doing that for this show, and then I was like, I want to make it where we're talking about what's shown. Not that where, you know, like there are a lot of places where people can get into the game and get into all of it, and all that will be talked about. I wanted us to just focus on what was shown on the show. I think it'll make it funnier for us to talk about. Is what I am saying.
Which
and then
we have now proved.
And I'm also saying, I think we proved brilliantly. And I don't care as long as Dean is safe, except coming attractions for next week, we find out that Dean is ready to start being in a showmance on the show. Oh, are you really? Well, just remember, Dean, I know where you live. I'm gonna break you two up. You know that he's
better get your numbers all in order.
Please don't send him this, because you know he's gonna be now at all the New York City events. And he's gonna be like, there's that Eric kid.
Oh gosh.
God, I saw that video clip where he was
And you're
obsessed with
like,
Nina.
oh, I've got a puzzle for you.
I don't want to do it. Well, John, I loved talking this past week of Survivor with you. I cannot wait to do it again next week. Now, I know everybody, thank you for understanding. We ended up having Christy last night. I said the Survivor shows would be on Thursdays, but we ended up having Christy last night, so we had to move it. I believe now, right, John, we are good with Thursdays at 7 p.m. Is that when we are still sticking with? Yes, or...
We are, and then we also talked about, possibly Wednesday as well.
Oh, yeah, doing it. We could do it after the show on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Whatever. I will fill you guys all in. We might have another, follow us on social media, because I might have another Survivor surprise information to let you guys all in on before even the next show. So make sure you're following us on social media. John, where can they follow you on social media?
You can follow me everywhere at Comedy Jonah.
Perfect. And of course, you guys can follow me at Reality Recaps. John, thank you so much for joining me to talk Survivor. I have now realized that the best way for me to do this is to just kick you out, John. So I am going to say goodbye and thank you, and I will talk to you later. Bye, Comedy Jonah. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and watching. Again, if you've missed any of these shows, make sure you watch them live on TVCo. YourRealityRecaps.com/TVCo will get you there, or you can check them out on our website after. We love, love, love you guys, and we will see you all on the next show. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.